Okay, hello. So tonight, this morning, whenever you're taking this class, I'm gonna show you just like a really great ritual to do as often as you like, but I like to do it in the morning and or at night, depending on how motivated I am to do everything together multiple times a day. But what this practice is really a grounding, nervous system regulation, and channel clearing practice. So I've learned this practice from my teacher, Mark Tanaka, and it has helped me tremendously just to tap into my body and to start to ground everything and just kind of clear a lot of the tension. I get a lot of tension from up in my head and my shoulders, and so it sort of just brings it all down and then just sort of clears everything through. So this will be the first in a series of videos that I'll post on here, and this one will kind of just do the basics so that you can do this anytime, even if it's only a part of what I'm going to show you. So for right now, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. So you can sit in a chair, you can lay down for this part, or you can, if you have a bolster or something that'll get your hips propped up and your knees underneath your hips, that would be ideal. So go ahead and find a comfortable spot. I like to put a blanket under my legs and get really cozy. And we're going to start with just a quick meditation. So find that place, and when you get there, go ahead and start to invite the eyes closed. And once you're there, just starting to settle into your seat, maybe rocking the body back and forth, just starting to feel the hips and feeling the sit bones against whatever it is you're sitting on if you're seated. And kind of landing in that middle place. Tilting the pelvis forward so that you can elongate your spine. Feeling the crown of the head reaching up towards the heavens. And then maybe tucking the chin slightly down towards the chest. And as you're here, just starting to say hello to your body. Scanning from the top of the head down through the body. If it feels good, maybe placing the hands over the heart and just saying hello. Breathing normal and natural. Not trying to change anything here, just welcoming the body into this place and time. Moving from here, let's go ahead and just move to sound. So just starting to notice any of the sounds around you, directly around you in the room that you're in, the space that you're in. Just bringing your awareness to those sounds. Allowing them your full focus here. Again, just breathing normal and natural, feeling the weight of your seat against the earth, allowing the earth to hold you here. Maybe seeing now if you can extend that awareness of sound out even further. Maybe to the next room. If you're near a window, to the sounds outside the window. thoughts are coming, just allowing them to be and then letting them go. Moving from sound now to sensation. So slowly just starting to bring your awareness to all of the sensations that you can feel. The temperature on your skin, the clothing that's meeting your skin, the weight of your seat against your cushion or chair, or if you're lying down, your body against the earth. The feeling of your exhale against your skin. And just noticing any thoughts that arise and slowly letting them pass like the breeze. Returning as much as possible to sensation. Knowing that it's okay not to be perfect. It's not even a thing here. What can you feel? And from this place, just starting to go inward. And checking in and noticing how the body feels. Allowing whatever you find to be there. No judgment. Not trying to change anything. Just noticing. Oh, maybe that's tension. Maybe that's joy. Maybe that's pain. Maybe that's warmth. Perhaps just giving it a name and letting it be. Continuing to breathe normal and natural. Just taking a moment to get to know what's going on inside. Breathing normal and natural. Whatever you found, just gently acknowledging your body again. All those inner parts of you. Saying thank you for showing you. And letting them all know that you'll be back. And gently inviting the palms together at heart center. Thinking about an intention, perhaps this is the beginning of your day, or any time during the day, or perhaps it's the evening. But just acknowledging an intention for this practice, for being here at this moment. Taking a moment to honor and have gratitude for everything in your life. Taking a moment to honor your ancestors, all those who came before you and gave you this life. Acknowledging any guides, any spirit guides, anything that gives you that peace of mind and that support system. And acknowledging the earth and all its creatures and the nature that surrounds you. And from here, we'll go ahead and open this practice with one round of Om. Feel free to join me if you wish. Inhaling fully. Exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling to Om. Bringing the hands to the forehead and bowing in to honor your intention, this practice, this moment. And coming back up, rubbing the palms together, generating some heat, keeping the eyes closed. And then just gently placing the palms over the eyes and beginning to flutter the eyelids open. And when you're ready, just removing your hands, maybe placing them on top of your knees. So that meditation, you can do that on your own. You can just simply do a check-in. But I always like to do a meditation just to honor the practice and just start to settle my system before I start to do any sort of movement or clearing or anything like that. So that's about a 10-minute one that you can do anytime. So from here, go ahead and interlock the fingers, raise them up overhead, and take a deep inhale in. And exhale, just gently starting to shift the weight over towards the right, making sure that the head is still over the heart, maybe the chin is a little tucked. Just starting to feel that opening in the left side. Breathing in, back up through the center, reaching up towards the sky, and exhaling over towards the right. Remembering to breathe here, tuck the chin. You can keep your eyes closed or open throughout this practice. And one more inhale in, looking up. And exhale, go ahead and bring the arms behind you. Now interlocking the fingers behind, stretching and straightening the arms behind you as much as you can, and just inviting the chin up towards the sky. And breathing here. And every exhale, just really focus on seeing if you can release any tension that you're holding down through the body into the earth. And then inviting the chin towards the chest, stretching out the back of the neck here. Breathing. Nice. Go ahead and release the hands, shake it out. And then just go ahead and place the fingertips at the tops of the shoulders, and we're just gonna start to rotate the shoulders here. Again, just kind of acknowledging where your head's out, keeping that long spine and that pelvis tucked. We always kind of want our head over our hearts, if that's possible. So with these practices, we really want to focus on going slow. So for some of us, that's going to be really hard because we're so used to being in our our sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight or flight, kind of go, go, go. What we're kind of trying to activate here and start to build is the parasympathetic system. So that's the rest and restore. So if you find that going slow is hard, don't even worry about it. It's okay, it takes practice. I still have a hard time with it. And go ahead and reverse. And remembering to breathe the whole time here. Please don't judge me by my almost dying fern behind me. She needs more water, as do I, always. All right, last one. And then go ahead and start to bring them up towards the ears and down. Trying to kind of bring the breath with this. Two more. And go ahead and release. Shake it out. I have Kaya hair on my face. All right, and from here, go ahead and inhale. Reach the left arm up towards the sky. Reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, just gentle twist over to the right. So this is just starting to kind of lengthen the spine, wring out the spine. And while you're here, you can play with tilting the head towards the shoulder if you want to get an extra stretch in your neck, but it's not necessary. Remembering to breathe, really trying to focus on that exhale and that sink into the earth. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Go ahead and release. We'll switch sides. Inhaling the right arm up towards the sky. And exhaling over to the left. And again, you can play with bringing your gaze even further behind you. Or you can play with maybe bringing the ear to the shoulder, looking down. You're going to get a different stretch kind of wherever you decide to look. So just find what feels comfortable. And breathe. And something to note in this practice in particular, you know, I always recommend that you just go to where you meet sensation. That's a lovely quote from my teacher, Kenny Graham, who I miss dearly. He is in Costa Rica now. But I love that because I think that is kind of how we want to approach this. And in this class, even less so. I mean, we're really, really, really taking it easy here. Just getting things cleared and moving that stagnant energy, getting things moving around. And go ahead and release on an exhale, coming back forward. So this next one, just going to place the hands on top of the knees. I kind of stay on my bolster and sometimes I'll scooch off too, just depending on how stiff I am at the moment. So taking an inhale in here. And then exhale, you're going to lean over the right leg, right knee, and look behind you. And then inhale up. And lean over the left. For me, I got to put a hand down on this side. And you can see when you play with how kind of where you look and how far you lean, you're going to feel this. Go ahead and inhale up. You're going to feel this through your QL. So through like your kind of low back, mid back. I almost feel it up into my neck sometimes. So if you want to go down into one of these and just sort of hang out, you totally can. There's no rules here. We don't do rules. It's really weird teaching to a phone, you guys. Because I want to just crack jokes and there's no one there to laugh, but I'm just imagining that you're all laughing with me. So just kind of do this at whatever pace feels good. Again, if you want to hang, go ahead and hang. We'll do it a couple more times. Nice. So inhaling, coming back up. Again, just sort of shaking the arms out. If you need to move your legs, shake your legs, you can bring them out in front of you and just sort of tap the knees against the ground. Tap the toes together. Activate that spleen channel. I kind of need to do that sometimes because mine start to get a little wacky. All right, and then from here, go ahead and bend the elbows, cocking the wrists so the palms are facing out towards the sides. Drop the chin to the chest. And then you're just going to slowly rotate the neck. So if it feels good to you here, you can start to rotate the hands as well. And if you're going to go ahead and do the hands as well, with every rotation, sort of envision all that stress and tension coming out through the palms to the sides of the room. And again, remembering to breathe. Allowing that exhale to give you that permission to release the whole body down into the earth. Allowing yourself to be held. Couple more. Last one. We're going to go ahead and shake it out. And then you're just going to tap the chest. Take a deep breath in. And release. That ah sound is the heart sound. So we're just going to kind of release some of that chest congestion, tightness, energy. Couple more. One more. Nice. And then just place the hands over each other and you're just going to slowly rub the heart. So we're just sort of getting that energy acknowledged, cleared, starting to move and circulate around. But just watch how fast you go. Sometimes when we go too fast, again, we can kind of aggravate things because it can be a little too much. For me, my system, it totally does. So I kind of have to really focus on going slow. Nice. And then go ahead and bring it down to the belly and do the same thing. So I'm kind of moving up the right and then down the left. And close your eyes for a second and keep breathing as you're doing this. And see if you can really drop into the belly here. Drop into the sacrum. And imagine that you're kind of focusing the energy there and just starting to circulate. Nice. And then around to the kidneys in the back. So just starting to rub the kidneys in the back. So it's kind of right above your low back. Just activating the kidney energy here. Breathing into the low back. And then maybe using the fingertips and just starting to massage the vertebrae down there. Getting down into the sacrum, kind of coming up high. And then just holding the palms on top of the kidneys back here. Maybe closing the eyes and just imagining that you're breathing into the hands, into the kidneys. Not worrying about getting it right. If this feels too wacky and weird, don't worry about it. You're trying something new. That's pretty damn cool. Or maybe it's not new and that's cool too. Nice. Go ahead and release. Shake it out. And then just start to kind of rub around the collarbone over here. And maybe coming down, rubbing into the armpit. Just sort of moving some of that energy around some of these lymph nodes here. Maybe the outside of the breast. And switching other side. This is kind of where we get into a little self-massage. So a lot of this self-massage stuff, it's really soothing for the system. So it helps us to, go ahead and release. It helps us to kind of calm the system down. So from here, go ahead and rub the hands together. And then just gently start to massage your face. So kind of think of it as like, to start, you're sort of caressing your face in a soothing way. And then you can kind of play with the tension of like, or the pressure. See what feels still soothing to you, but maybe also is starting to kind of release maybe some stuck tension. So for me, like I tend to give a little more pressure into my jaw and just kind of massaging my jaw, opening the mouth just a little bit so you can kind of get in there. Breathing into that space wherever you find that stuckness. And once I get in there, like if you have this jaw tension, massaging it a bit, and then kind of imagining you have tiger claws, and imagine that you're pulling that tension out through the sides and shaking it out. And we're gonna do that kind of all through here. So keeping going with the face, then starting to go into the temples. Again, remembering to breathe. Every exhale, you're trying to kind of release some of that tension. So again, if you feel your fingers start to get tired, or you notice an area that maybe is a little more tense, go ahead and take those tiger claws and just pull out that tension, shake it out. So it's like you're removing that gunk and getting it out. So then moving through the scalp, just kind of play with finding those spots. Find any areas that feel tight. And again, play with the pressure for what feels good for your system. Don't go too aggressive. Maybe too light is too little. Just kind of find that sweet spot. And then notice where you kind of feel that tension. And again, just go ahead and visualize pulling it out and shaking it out. I'm gonna make my hair even wackier than it is right now. I'm here for it. Remember to breathe. Moving to the back of the skull. Just clearing that energy wherever it is. It feels stuck. Getting to the base of the skull, kind of where the skull meets the neck. Most of us tend to experience tension there at some point. I kind of always have it. So finding those spots, especially those kind of super tender spots, and again, just finding your pressure levels. Once you start to kind of feel the fingers getting tired, getting those tiger claws and pulling that tension out and shaking it out. A couple more. And then taking you just both hands and just starting to kind of massage the neck. So starting, it's like you're kind of dragging on either side, breathing, and kind of maybe coming up along the tops of the traps here. Just massaging. And shaking it out. And then one side at a time, let's start on the left. You can either make a fist or you can kind of cup your hand like this. And we're just gonna start to tap on top of the shoulder, trap here. So again, you don't need a ton of pressure. Surprisingly, you don't need much force for any of this stuff. So much of it is obviously energetic, so it doesn't have to be aggressive. I have a lot of tension up here, so I do tend to kind of do this route. But what this is doing is just starting to break up that tension. If you experience a lot of tension up here in your shoulders like I do, this kind of breaks it all up. And breathe. And then go ahead and start massaging. So massage and squeeze those traps. You can kind of come back onto the tops of the shoulder blades if you, however far you can reach without it being strenuous. And then coming up the side of the neck, being a little more gentle through here. And then you're kind of imagining that you're pulling down that tension out the arm. So we're going to kind of keep massaging down through the bicep, through the inside, tricep, triceps back here, this bicep. Down through the elbow, down through the forearm, inside through the wrist, out the fingers, pulling it out, shaking it out. And then we're gonna brush, clear, brush, clear. Breathing. Nice. Shake it out. And then let's just take a moment. So placing the hands on top of the knees, spine long, chin tucked, closing the eyes. Just start to notice how you feel now, just after what we've done. See if maybe you can notice a difference in your left and right side. This awareness piece, this kind of rebound piece is super important to start to understand and learn the sensations of our energetic body and our physical body. All right, opening the eyes, let's do the other side. So again, fist, or you can cup and tap this way, whatever feels best to you. I like to hold the elbow, just makes it a little more chill on the arm that's doing the tapping. And again, breathing, really focusing on that exhale. That exhale is really kind of what activates our parasympathetic system. So the longer and fuller the exhale, the more we're going to kind of push our system into that rest and restore place in the most gentle way. All right, and then go ahead and start massaging. And again, just really kind of playing with the pressure of whatever feels good. You can kind of reach back as far as you can without making it too strenuous. So we broke up that tension, all that energy. Now we're kind of trying to massage it out, going up through the neck a little more gently. And then we're going to drag it down through the massage, through the tricep, bicep, kind of going through the whole outward inner arm, through the wrist, and out the fingers, shaking it out. And then brush to clear. And shake both out. And then again, let's just go ahead and place the hands on top of the knees. Spine long, chin tucked, and just close the eyes to notice. Do things feel a little more even? A little more relaxed? And gently opening the eyes back up. So what we just did there, that's something if you experience headaches or tension, jaw tension, any of that stuff, that visualization is really key to this. So kind of closing the eyes, getting into that space, doing the self-massage, and then doing the visualization of pulling it out and shaking it out. What you're doing is acknowledging, you're breaking up the stagnant energy, you're getting things flowing and moving around, and then you're clearing. So we'll talk more about clearing with other stuff in the future, but this is something I do throughout the day. Honestly, like if I have a headache or something, if I can just get to a place where I can close my eyes and even just do some of the tapping, I've experienced a lot of relief with that. So, and I know a lot of people do. So it's something to practice. Don't, if you don't feel anything today, no big deal. Try again. And just kind of play with it and see what works. You might need to spend a little more time on certain areas, a little less time on others. So this is kind of just how it works. We're all different, right? Okay, let's take care of these legs a little bit since we've been sitting so long. So if you're sitting on a bolster or something, go ahead and get off of it. And then I'll bring my legs out here so you guys can see. I got my nice cozy socks on because it's freezing up here, even with the heater. So just place your hands behind and just start to kind of bounce the knees back and forth, just starting to get that energy flowing back in the legs. And again, just starting to tap the toes together, activating the spleen channel. Nice. And then go ahead, and what we're gonna do now is just come into a low squat if that's possible for you. If it's not possible for you, you can sit on a bolster. You can put a rolled up blanket underneath your feet. You don't have to do it at all. You can lay down and go into a modified, oh gosh, what's it called? Happy baby. So for the low squat, I don't even have the capability to put my heels on the ground. My bone structure doesn't allow it. So just kind of hanging out here with your hands placed in front of you, looking down. And all we really want to do here is start to breathe into the pelvis. So wherever you're at, just kind of feeling that grounding feel here. Breathing into the pelvis, looking down, feeling the hands against the earth. Nice. And let's go ahead and come back down to a seat. So I'll do another practice where we'll get up and kind of rotate the joints in a different way and kind of get things moving in a different way. But for this particular practice, I'm going to kind of keep everything on the ground just so it's a little more accessible to everyone. So from here, if you're sitting on the ground, just go ahead and take both hands, and you're just going to massage and kind of rub the legs vigorously. And it looks a little wacky. But again, kind of what we're doing here is just starting to clear the channels. So then just start to brush down and then do the other side. Just getting some of that blood flow back in the legs. And brush. And then taking both feet in front of you, just start to massage the feet, especially the arches of the feet. You can use the heel of your palm. I use my thumbs. And then kind of go through each toe. Massage each toe and then pinch the tops. Just activating some of this channel clearing through the feet. And then massaging around the ankles. And then rubbing up the inside of the calves, the knees, the inside of the thighs, and the groin. And then again, one more time, kind of rubbing the kidneys here. And leaving the hands back there and just taking a couple breaths into the hands, into the kidneys. Nice, last exhale, go ahead and release. Shaking the hands out. Go ahead and just rotate the wrists. And again, I have many ways to do this kind of full body. Part of this is joint mobility too. Just the way that we do it can vary. A little more qigong based versus, a little more straight up yoga mobility. I kind of do a little bit of a mixture of just all of the things and what feels right for my body. So I'll try to teach you guys a few different ways. All right, shake it out. And then let's just get a little more movement into the hips. So coming onto all fours here, placing the hands underneath the shoulder blades, getting the fingers wide, and you're almost like gripping the floor with your fingertips. So you're like a little spidey hands. And then from here, you might want to place the hands, actually a handprint out, because we're going to just start to rotate the hips. So again, breathing here, just really kind of feeling into every part of this motion. You can close your eyes if that feels good. If it feels better to tuck your toes under, you can do that too. I got sensitive little toesies, so it doesn't always feel great for me. And other direction. And again, all of this should just feel nice and juicy. It shouldn't feel stressful or strenuous. Just kind of going with the motion here. Allowing your body to kind of feel this flow. All right, and go ahead and release. So if that part wasn't doable for you, if you have bad knees or anything, you can do that standing up. I just was trying to keep us on the ground, but for the sake of just showing you quickly, I can show you. You're not gonna be able to see me because my camera's not set up properly, so you're just gonna see my hips. But you can stand and keep your hands on your hips, and then you kind of just do the same thing, but standing really, really slowly. So with this one, kind of every moment, you're like feeling into the muscles as it rotates each way, and then you do the other way. Cool? Cool. Okay, let's get back on the mat. So this practice, again, like I said, it's great in the morning, just to kind of get things gently moving. I personally love it at night. I sleep like a baby when I do this before bed. So pick whatever you want to do. You can do it anytime. But all right, let's see if you can see me. I did an okay job with this camera here. All right, that'll work. Okay, so on your back, feet flat on the ground here. Go ahead and invite the right knee towards your chest and grasp at the knee with both hands. You can keep the other leg bent with the left foot on the ground, or you can extend it, whichever feels right, whichever feels good to you. But wherever you're at, just starting to rotate that ankle while you're hugging that knee in. And again, breathing. Every exhale, maybe allowing some of that tension to melt away. I know I tend to just randomly start to flex. It's my body's tendency to be overly sympathetic, which is okay. And go the other way with the foot. Maybe the leg gets to come a little closer. And when you're ready, pointing and flexing the foot. And then inviting the leg up towards the sky. It does not matter how straight your leg is. It has taken me a lot of work to even get to here, and I'm cool with never being straight, and you should be too. So from here, take a deep breath in. And exhale, start to push into the hands and meet that pressure with the hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release that pressure and just kind of hold the leg here. So you can play here with, if you want to keep rotating the ankle in the sky, you can do that. Or you can play with turning the toes, flexing the foot and turning the toes inward, seeing if maybe you get a little bit of a different stretch there, or turning them outwards. There's no right answer here, whatever feels good. And while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna move the camera back just a little bit so you can see me a little better. This is my first time using it, y'all. That's better. Nice, then go ahead and just bend and straighten the leg. And then you're gonna invite that left leg back so the knee's bent. And then go ahead and cross the right leg over. So you're coming into a figure 4 just with everything on the ground. Go ahead and start to push gently on the inside of the knee while keeping the right foot flexed. You can extend the left arm overhead and just breathe into this here. So you might feel a little bit of a stretch through your psoas. You might start to feel a little stretch through the hip flexor. You might not feel much at all, depending on how flexible you are. And then go ahead and lift the legs up, keeping that right foot flexed. That protects your knee. And you can stay here and kind of have it be a dynamic stretch if you're looking for a little bit more. If you are going to do that, make sure that you're pressing your low back in your sacrum kind of into the earth. Or you can reach around and grab behind the left hamstring. So you come into a true figure 4 here. So wherever you're at, if you're here, you're going to be feeling that stretch to the outside of the right glute. You can kind of rock side to side to see if you can find kind of the sweet spot for where you're going to feel like you meet the tension the best without going overboard and pushing it. Again, we just want to meet that tension. And breathe here. And then you can go ahead and release the hands, place them out to a T, and then invite the legs over towards the left. So you can maintain this same positioning of the legs, or you can place the legs right on top of each other and you're just bringing them kind of into that 90-degree angle and then coming into a twist. So if you're coming into that 90-degree angle, you can place the left hand on top of the right knee, and then bring the gaze over towards the right hand. Again, whatever feels best for you right now. And if this feels like too much, you can place a pillow in between the knees. Breathing here, really focusing on that exhale. When you're ready, go ahead and bring the right arm to meet the top of the left. You guys can't see me very well. Hold on. Let's see if I can fix it. Okay, hold on. We're gonna go down. Okay. So you're kind of in this position now, right? So your hands kind of coming out like a seal. Knees are bent, 90-degree angle. So from here on the inhale, you're gonna inhale and drag your right hand over you, like you're making a, I don't know, what are you doing here? Making like a snow angel-ish. And then on the exhale, you're going to drag it back over. And we're going to do this 3 times. Inhaling, lightly dragging, gaze follows into that opening of the shoulder. Exhale back. And one more time. That's giving us a little mobility in the shoulder. And taking a moment. When you're ready, we are going to come back onto our backs. Let's see if I cannot jump up and go pee in the middle of this, y'all. I can feel it coming. All right, so now we're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest. Again, you can keep this right foot like this with the knee bent, or you can extend it long. Wow, this camera angle is way better than it was before, isn't it? All right, and from here, taking a deep inhale in, And exhaling, seeing if that hip flexor will maybe release a little bit more. And then just starting to rotate the ankle slowly. Seeing if you can feel into like every part of this rotation. This is part of that slowing down and feeling in the other direction. And pointing and flexing the foot. And then inviting that leg up towards the sky. Again, how flexed you keep that foot will kind of depend on your flexibility. And we're gonna push into the hands for that dynamic stretch. So taking a deep breath in. And exhaling, pushing into the hands, meeting that pressure for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing that pressure, that tension, and just holding the leg here. And maybe playing with where you feel that stretch the most. So maybe flexing that foot and pointing that toe inwards or outwards. Wherever you're gonna meet that sensation. And breathing into that for a few breaths. Nice, and then go ahead and just bend and straighten the leg. And then invite that right leg back up, crossing the left over the right, keeping that left foot flexed. And then again, we're just gonna start slowly. So starting to push into that inside of the left. It's kind of like the inside of your thigh here. It's not quite the knee, but you can push on the knee. Bringing that right arm overhead. And just that gentle pressure, breathing into that stretch. Just starting to awaken that hip flexor, see if it can start to release a little bit. And then when you're ready, inviting those legs up. And either keeping this kind of dynamic stretch, keeping that left foot flexed, or reaching through and grasping the right hamstring and coming into figure 4 here. And again, you can rock from side to side to try to find kind of that sweet spot. Not pushing too hard, just meeting the sensation of the stretch. And again, kind of just bringing your awareness back to that exhale. Gently releasing the hands and either maintaining this position and rotating the legs down over to the right, or you can just bring the legs together again, kind of into that 90 degree, and then bring the knees over to the right that way, placing the hand on top, extending that left arm out and bringing the gaze over to the left side. So getting that spinal twist on the other side. And closing your eyes here and just breathing with that exhale, really allowing the body to sink and be held by the earth. And on your next exhale, bringing that left arm over so you're coming into that kind of like steel clap on the right side. Taking a breath, settling kind of into this position. And on your next inhale, or whenever it feels right, inhaling and starting to kind of make that half moon snow angel by dragging the left hand over all the way and around. You can break up the breath too, so it could be inhale partway, exhale over. Inhaling back up. And just seeing what the breath naturally feels best like for you. And back over. And one more. Maybe hanging in this one for a minute. When you're ready, slowly rotating it over until you're back in this fetal position on the right side. And then just go ahead and bring yourself back onto your back. We got a couple more before we do our final posture. So go ahead and extend the legs out long, feet flexed, arms overhead, and take a deep breath in and just kind of do this long full body stretch. And exhale, release that tension. We're gonna do it one more time, this time pointing the toes. So inhale, point the toes, stretch the fingertips like your whole body is being stretched and pulled from side to side. And exhale, go ahead and release. So from this position, go ahead and invite your left foot towards the bottom left edge of your yoga mat. And then you're gonna bring your right to meet it as much as you can. You might need to scooch the hips a little over. I did that too aggressively, but just a little bit. And then bring your left arm out to the top left edge, and then your right arm's gonna meet it. So you're kind of in this like half crescent moon position on your mat. So if this isn't enough and you don't feel a stretch through this left side, you can play with putting the right foot over the left, and you can play with grasping the right wrist with the left hand and kind of pulling. So again, wherever you meet that sensation, meet that stretch, find that now, and then just sort of settle into that for a few breaths. And you really want to feel and breathe into this whole right side. I might have said left earlier, but I meant right. Directions are hard. And exhale, release. And we'll do the other side. So again, you might want to shift your hips over to the left a little bit. And then right foot comes to the bottom right edge of the yoga mat. Left foot comes to meet it. Right arm to the top right. And left arm comes to meet it. So this might be enough to start to feel that stretch through the left side. Or you might want to cross that left foot over right and grasp that left wrist with the right hand. Whatever you need to do. And breathe into this left side. One of my teachers always said, imagine that you have little sets of lungs all along the side or wherever it is that you're trying to stretch into. So every breath, it's like you're being breathed into by all these little lungs on that left side. It's kind of creepy, but also kind of cool and works for a visualization. release. Go ahead and come back to the center. And this will kind of be our last move before Shavasana. So take your feet as wide as your yoga mat, or even maybe a little bit wider. Your arms can kind of come up to a V, or they can come above your head, whichever feels better. And you're just going to start to windshield wipe the legs back and forth. So you're feeling that stretch through the hip flexor, the psoas on both sides. So again, it's your practice. You do what you want to do. If you find a side and you want to kind of hang out on that side rather than continually windshield wipe, you're more than welcome to do that. And if you do that, you can play with inviting the arms a little more over. So if you have like your left knee down, you can invite your arms over your head a little bit more to the left side. And you'll feel a deeper stretch. Other side. So again, kind of make this one your own, whatever you feel like you need. Remembering to breathe. Wherever you're at, just coming back through to center. If you would like to take a happy baby or any last pose, you're more than welcome. One thing I'll say with happy baby, a lot of us tend to just go straight for the feet. And that's cool, but sometimes our low back comes up, creates a little more strain. So I like to just keep it chill and get my hands just behind my quads and rock back and forth. Maybe you just want to hug the knees in, crossing the feet, and just sort of rotate in circles, massaging the spine, the low back. Ooh, got some pops in there. It's like pop rocks. And whenever you're ready, you can start to prepare for Shavasana. So with that, if you're done with the practice for now, all good. I would always recommend at least a brief, couple minute Shavasana if you can hang, if you have the time. The pose is really important to just incorporate all the work that you've done. Even if it ends up being a meditation, that's fine too, but just something to kind of bring it all together and close out kind of the ritual of the practice. So if you are going to stay for Shavasana, it'll probably be, I never know how long my times are. We're already an hour in. But I'll try to keep it semi-quick for this one, and I'll do some other videos in the future that are just lengthy Shavasanas. But for this one, for Shavasana, I like to get as cozy as possible. My low back tends to get aggravated, so I'll put a bolster or a big pillow or something under my knees. I like to have a blanket under my head because my head tends to get kind of angry when I'm on the hard ground. And then I have little eye pillows. Those are always great. And if you really want to get cozy and warm, maybe grab a blanket. But whatever you need to do, go ahead and start to get ready. And you can close, or you can turn your lights off, light a candle, which I was going to say, actually at the beginning of practice, I always light a candle to honor the practice and leave that going the whole time until I'm done. But you can find whatever works for you. So once you're settled, just allowing the body to kind of get the wiggles out. So maybe making fists, crunching the feet together and then releasing, moving the head from side to side, opening and closing the jaw or the mouth. And And just allowing the body to kind of get all that goodness out so that you can relax. And again, allowing the breath just to be normal, natural. If it feels good to have your hands over your belly, one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly, or just both hands at the side. Again, there's no right way. Whatever feels good to you right now. And we're just going to start from the top of the head. I'm doing a brief body scan here. So imagine that you're sort of shining a flashlight through the body and just saying hello to all these different parts. Seeing if you can allow them permission to relax into this posture. So starting from the top of the head, moving through the temples. It's like you're going through the body with a magic wand that allows everything to melt and relax. Going to the forehead, releasing any held tension there. That space between the eyebrows. The eyeballs, just letting them sink into their sockets. Allowing the back of the head to get heavy and held by the earth. Coming down into the lips and the mouth, releasing any tension in the jaw, letting the tip of the tongue hang out on the roof of the mouth. Imagining that your jaw, those mandible bones are just expanding to the outer edges of the room. And on the next exhale, just releasing the whole head down into the earth. Moving through the neck, the front of the neck, the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. Releasing the tops of the shoulders, the traps, the collarbones. Allowing all the bones to get heavy here. It's as if the bones are settling into a little warm, bubbling creek. And the water is like the breath. Cleansing the tension, cleansing the energy. It's not a high creek, it only comes up to maybe halfway through our body. It's not covering the tops of us. Moving down the arm bones, down through the elbows, the forearms, the hands, the finger bones, the fingertips. Letting it all sink down into the earth, onto this riverbed. Checking in with the top of the chest, the heart, the upper back, kind of that whole upper trunk section. And on the next exhale, just letting it release into the earth. Continuing the journey to the midsection, the ribs, all the rib bones, and the lungs, around the sides to the mid-back, allowing everything to get heavy, allowing the breath to act like water, flushing and cleansing any stuck energy or tension, whatever doesn't serve. And continuing down, further down into the low spine, the low back, around the sides of the hip bones, the hips, the low belly, the womb. Allowing the hips to get heavy in their sockets. Allowing the sacrum and the pelvis to just release, to be held by Mother Earth. As the breath breathes in and out, cleansing the body like water. Moving through the legs, through the quads, the sides, the IT bands, the hamstrings, backs of the legs. Just allowing that whole top section of your legs to get heavy, the bones to sink into the earth. The water and the breath to wash over and relax and clear. Moving through the knees, the backs of the knees, sides of the knees. Down through the shin bones, the calves. Every exhale, permission to sink deeper, the bones to get heavier. The water as the breath to clear and cleanse, release. The ankle bones, the Achilles, moving into the feet, allowing the heels of the feet, the arches of the feet, the tops of the feet, releasing the ball of the feet, and then every one of your toe bones, big toe, second toe, third toe, pinky toe. Allowing all of the foot bones and the feet to sink deeper into the earth. And feeling into this full body release. The full body being held by Mother Earth. Supported, protected, safe. Allowing the breath to move fully through the body. And exhale to cleanse like water. Clearing the system, the body, of anything that doesn't serve. And taking a moment now just to visualize the creek bed has dried up and you've transitioned to a place in nature that just feels like yours. The weather is perfect. The time of day up to you. Feel what the ground feels like under your body, under your skin. Feel the glow of the sun or the moonlight from up above. Notice how you are the link in between the heavens and the earth. Feel how this Earth Mother protects you, comforts you, loves you, holds you. And just be here for a few more breaths. Wherever you're at, just knowing that you can always return back here, that this place lives within you, that this greater mother is always here with you, holding you. Remember this feeling of your body in total relaxation. Let this be a place that you come back to time and time again. And you can either stay here or you can join me for a closing meditation. So if you choose to join me, just starting to wiggle the toes and the fingertips, slowly bringing the body back to this present moment. And beginning to bring the feet up towards the hips and keeping the eyes closed, rolling onto one side. And slowly making your way back up to a seated position. And again, spine long, chin tucked, pelvis tucked. Taking a moment to honor this practice, honor your body, honor your intention. Having gratitude to be able to do this practice, to be able to move, take the time for yourself so that you may be of better service to others. And we'll gently invite our palms back to heart center. And I'll close us out today with the chant Om Mani Padme Hum. You can always join me if you wish. I can't hear you. I wish I could. Taking a deep breath in. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May the benefit of this practice, of your practice, benefit all beings everywhere. May you stay wild. May you stay free. And may you always stay in love. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope to do more of these. This was a lengthier one. If those of you that have taken practice with me know that I tend to go a little long. But I'll try to start breaking these up too into smaller chunks so that you guys have more offerings until I start doing classes in person. But thank you, and I hope this helps you. Please reach out with any questions.